Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the market recovery after the ceasefire in the Middle East that may or may not actually be a ceasefire. We're going to talk about the wild run that Circle went on yesterday before Clemente killed it. And we're going to talk about DeFi Development Corp potentially becoming the first tokenized crypto treasury equity on the blockchain. GM numbers are up today. I'm joined by Easy Eats Bodega and Sea Dog Chili Army 123. Missed him yesterday. Clemente, how you feeling? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic, Ray. Never a doubt that we would be recovering. Yeah, we're back. Crypto prices are pumping. You know what was wild is Udi Wertheimer, Taproot Wizards, calling. He's on a generational run right now on Twitter. He basically perfectly called every single part of this conflict.
Yeah. Like you were in the Israeli military. No shit. That's like me being like, yeah, man, like I can tell you everything. I can tell you what Bulbasaur's footprint fucking looks like because I'm obsessed with the stupid character. Like when you literally serve time in the military, it's not terribly shocking that you have a quality understanding of how military action takes place. You and me, Sea-Dog, we don't know shit about shit.
Two people that I've been watching, UD1, ICO Beast being the other, kind of giving a playbook and like talking about like classifieds, like semi-classified information. Really curious what ICO Beast has going on behind the scenes. But when I'm seeing these people give like play-by-plays like this, like I'm not only thinking like military, I'm like, are these guys just like feds here, like building their cred? They're like talking about what's going on. They have the inside information. They want to look like they're like the source of knowledge on these things. So I always get a little bit worried.
One of the people on this show gave a full play-by-play that was almost spot on. Almost spot on. Just saying. We can't even run it back. We talked about it yesterday. This motherfucking post. Almost spot on. Just saying. Just saying. Even got the slight chop grind up. Just saying.
He's our chief war correspondent.
Ceasefire between Israel and Iran occurs mid to late July.
That was the one thing I was wrong about. So two things maybe late on, but accurate.
Y'all knew you meant June.
Yeah, I meant June.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we could get early July because it looks like Israel said fuck the ceasefire. They said we're still firing missiles to be symbolic. What the fuck is symbolic about firing missiles?
Dude, they bombed Bulbasaur today.
Yeah, dude. The fuck is that? The fuck is that? The fuck is that? And now Sea-Dog just left us. Huh. Be your own.
Yeah, so anyone not following along, ceasefire last night. And then this morning, Israel did some bombing as well. I think there was like also like Iran was like sent like a missile strike like a minute after the ceasefire, and I think they're just going like tit for tat at this point. So hopefully, like they get it out of their systems today, and we can resume with our lives without having to worry about this conflict.
You ever been in one of those situations where everyone's clapping, and the person who wants to have the last clap is just like, and someone else is like. And then it just goes on for like 4 minutes of just uncomfortable singular claps. That's kind of like what they're doing.
Or when you're when the couples call each other like, no, you hang up.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You hang up. No, you hang up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, we stopped firing bombs last. No, we stopped firing bombs last. That's what it is.
Let me bomb you. Let me bomb you one more time.
One more bomb. One more bomb.
Markets are recovering, though. They didn't see much pain this morning. Clemente, you bought a bunch of hype yesterday.
Well, the important thing is I sold my Solana for hype, and Solana's looking pretty good right now.
Over the last 24 hours, hype is up 5.3%. Solana up 7%. So the kid does it again. Dude, your tweets yesterday were absolutely perfect. I think you marked the local top of hype when you bought, and I think you marked the local top, maybe the all-time top of Circle when you danced on it. I don't know if we ever get up to $300 again on Circle.
What's it at now? I haven't even looked at it pre-market.
It's the weather report. Why don't we kick off the weather report?
Yikes! Nick's underwater.
Kick off the weather report here, Clemente, whenever you're ready, and then we'll get into some more analysis on Circle.
Ray, I thought you would never ask. A lot to cover today, folks. It's Tuesday, June 24th. Looking over the crypto roundup. The majors are up on the day. We got Bitcoin over 105K. Ethereum back over 2,400 and Solana at 144. There was never a doubt we would see some recovery. Over the past 24 hours, Iran and Israel agreed to a ceasefire last night. But drama unfolded this morning, though, as Israel broke the ceasefire with another bombing run. I mean, what's going on here? Also yesterday, they were like, yo, guys, heads up. In about 2 hours, we're going to throw some missiles your way. And they're going to be the worst missiles ever. A freaking blind guy could intercept these, dude. Let's make them as interceptable. We're just going to give you some fastballs down the middle. You can intercept all of them. Next up, Circle set a new all-time high of $300. I believe the all-time high was like $297, $298. As it flipped the total market cap of its USDC stablecoin. The equity, it's since retraced and is down to 245 in pre-market trading. Good God, what is going on here? Finally, DeFi Development Corp has partnered with Kraken to tokenize its DFDV stock. DeFi Development now claims its first U.S.-listed crypto treasury firm with on-chain equity. Very interesting stuff coming out of DeFi Development Corp. How's its stock doing? We'll see how that's going on.
Good.
Not well. But overall, I mean, things are up and to the right, considering how over it was just 2 days ago. Who would have thought? That's it for the weather report. Back over to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Clemente. I don't think this looks terrible easy for DeFi Development Corp. I mean, obviously a bad day yesterday, but
it's not great.
Still slowly up and to the right.
That's a lower high.
We got to get, dude. We got to get Pio on the show because what the hell is going on with MicroStrategy, man?
Do we have to,
bro? I mean, actually, we don't have to get. I'll be the MicroStrategy representative. I don't feel good about it. I got a lot of this thing. I would have been better off buying Bitcoin, I think.
I mean, yes. I mean, it has like it's looking at the history of MicroStrategy. It has its legs up, and then it just chops for a while. Has a leg up, next run, chops for a while. Yeah, I mean, so this pumped with the ETFs. It pumped with the election, and now it's kind of just waiting for its next catalyst. Like I think it trades sideways until Bitcoin breaks out again and sets a new level. Like Bitcoin's going to have to go to 150K before this thing breaks all-time high again. That's my thought process.
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think maybe. I mean, I've bought a little bit more. I've been DCAing slowly. I also have been buying. I've been buying some corn. I bought it like 108 a few weeks ago, and I'm like, yikes! Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I mean, with MicroStrategy, you generally have like decent periods of DCA. I mean, you could have another like extended period here.
It looks good. I mean, yeah, we'll see. The other side of it is like as these treasury companies become more and more prominent, does that compete with MicroStrategy for liquidity? Which it feels like maybe it is. I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I can't weigh in on it too much. Or the other argument is that no, it's such a strong, has such a monopoly on Bitcoin that is actually bullish for MicroStrategy, that everyone else is following the playbook. How's Circle looking? Pre-market down to 247. Good God.
I got Nick's two put orders on the screen here. One at 230, one at 200. He was sitting pretty as we approached 300, and then something happened. I don't want to go into what exactly happened, but maybe I'll pull up exactly.
Some friggin' retard started dancing on the timeline.
People were so mad. I've to mute these threads now.
I told you time and time again, this shit won't stop. Bag it show by show, I'm trying to triple and double the pot. We'll put at least 6 foot up,
perfectly timed at 300.
Pooping at 25 rolls, all great interior, but now it's clouded. Every day, bit of my go from chasing health and wealth, not clout. Bad bitches under my belt, I cook like a chef.
How many takes did this take you?
3.
3
For
takes?
people,
Has your significant other seen these videos?
no.
Okay.
I hope she never sees them. For people just listening, it was a video of me dancing, celebrating Circle's all-time high. I have to mute these threads now because I've been getting a lot of hate comments recently. Like people genuinely pissed. A lot of people have been blocking me. So yeah. And after that, Circle kind of dumped pretty significantly. People, Mr. Yellow saying I looked like Hasbullah in that video. Yeah, but I don't know. Circle, what's the market cap of this thing? I saw a post yesterday that someone was saying that the fully diluted market cap is significantly higher, that there's a lot more shares outstanding. I need to pull up the tweet, but they're basically saying
64 bill.
Sorry?
64 bill right now is the market cap.
64 bill is crazy. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's overvalued, basically, right now.
Easy was one of them yesterday. Did you get any Circle puts in Easy?
No.
Still consider it?
I haven't traded it at all. I've been like mostly perp trading recently and have been on like a low-key heater there.
You've been like
yesterday went longs for a small scalp, hit the short, and then longed post ceasefire announcement. Went 3 for 3. I was pretty happy about it.
What's your position now? Aren't you're short now?
Yeah, short ETH. Very small short on ETH. Just Bitcoin's down, Bitcoin's red barely. The S&P opens like the big thing. Like if we don't rip through my stop loss on the S&P open, I just think it retests, like retraces. The ceasefire like hasn't actually happened yet. And even if they do announce it, isn't it like, didn't we already price it in? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to think of like what resolves things now. Like just no more
We
bombs.
need over 106 on BTC. I'll be right back 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, so we're sitting at 2,400 ETH right now. We got as low as 2,100 during like the depths of this. Looking at ETH though, like looking at like a 1 month chart on ETH, like really zooming out, this thing has just been kind of garbage. Like not holding levels, almost looks like a double top here. As someone who holds ETH and has traditionally held ETH, I'm just like never happy holding this. And like at some point, I feel like I'm gonna have to convert out. I just don't know like when is the right time.
I mean, my fear, Ray, is that all alts are just genuinely massively overinflated in price, like overvalued. I don't understand. Yeah, like why should Ethereum be at a $290 billion market cap? That's insane. It's like a top 50 asset in the world.
Yeah, I saw a tweet on the Choose Rich Live app on the trending today. So if you don't have the Choose Rich Live app, sign up. Super helpful. r.chooserich.live get you a discount. Get you $10 off per month. They had this Nick added this really cool feature. He's continuing to push features to this, but it's essentially like trending tweets. So he you like can see like what tweets are like really moving in Twitter. So it gives you like a good pulse on what's happening right now. And if you're somebody who like is like a reply guy or somebody who's like looking to like jump like trend jack on like the recent tweets to get reach, it also helps. But I saw one on there today talking about like the different market caps of crypto versus equities. I'm trying to like find it now.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I got it.
You know which one I'm talking about? I think it's from Kyle.
I proved that one myself. Yeah, so Kyle basically tweeted, when you look at some of these valuations, it's pretty obvious why crypto alts behave the way that they do, basically referring to their underperformance recently. And saying that BlackRock's market cap is 152 billion, ETH is at 290 billion. Airbnb is an $80 billion market cap, Solana at 76. Jollibee at 4.4 billion, Pepe at 4, JetBlue at 1.4 B, and ARB at the same price. Basically insinuating that like what you have all these legitimate businesses, some of the biggest in like the US, are trading at around a lot of these altcoin prices, when in reality, like what's the true value for these altcoins? And they kind of trade at a premium. compared to maybe what their actual valuation should be. That's been my fear, right? To be honest, Bitcoin is Bitcoin because it has the like digital gold comparison, right? So you can look at it compared to silver, compared to gold. I struggle to think about like what do we consider for Ethereum, right? And if all of these institutions adopt Ethereum, right, or build on top of Ethereum, why does that mean that Ethereum price should go up? Or on Solana, why does that mean Solana should go up?
Yeah, I mean, they need reasons to have utility or like price action on the native token. And like right now, we're just not seeing that. I mean, I think you can craft a narrative where Ethereum and Solana are at value or undervalue right now. But my concern looking at like the overall alt market is just like the amount of like crowd in the space. Everything's getting crowded. There's more chains launching, there's more tokens launching, more apps launching.
Yeah.
And you're going to see like an explosion of apps on these chains. And that's going to take, you know, liquidity. It's going to take like investment dollars that could be going into native tokens, into these other apps as well. So we're seeing like the proliferation of the number of tokens available. Like you say, like there's no alt season, but like just the fact that these things are holding valuations they are is kind of like almost an alt season, like in itself. You look at the crypto total market cap right now, has been kind of like steadily grinding up around like $3.3 trillion right now. We peaked in December at 3.7, but like crypto total market cap's like slowly grinding up. You know, mostly, I mean, I guess mostly based on Bitcoin price action, but you know, it is like factoring in alts, you know, Bitcoin at 64% dominance right now. We are continuing to see like ETFs flow. So maybe that's like a bullish narrative for some of these alts, but ETH price hasn't really budged much on the ETFs, you know, so like if you're expecting an ETF run on Sol, you know, Cardano, SWI, XRP, Litecoin, et cetera, I don't know like how much the actual ETF approvals are going to make a difference, but I mean, it's definitely something I'm paying attention to and like a little bit nervous with altcoins. So like, I kind of want to like divest away from things that like quote unquote conviction plays that I've been holding that like are like existing tokens. Like why hold Ethereum when you can get an emerging exposure to an emerging market like Hyperliquid? Like why not have like dry powder ready to deploy into a MegaETH or a Monad at launch where you have opportunity for upside? So like it's like a tough balance between existing players that have
or like a Kaito potentially, right? And Kaito right now could be overvalued too, or it's all overvalued. Like I'm looking at Hyperliquid, it's at a $37 billion market cap. Like let's be real. It's not like people scream that it's undervalued, and I own some, and I think it's going to go up, but that doesn't mean that it's people valuing all of these things at certain prices. When they say something's undervalued, they also like take into consideration its all-time price, like its all-time high, and comparing it to previous performance, when in reality, like we have no idea how a lot of this is going to pay out.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at market cap for a lot of these too, like Solana market cap, you know, is less than half of all-time high at this point. Continues to push up because you're having additional tokens hit the market. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum is basically like now inflationary again after being briefly deflationary. So like there's all kinds of things that go like with these tokens that like make it like muddy to just say like, okay, these things have product market fit, they have market share, they're going to continue to have market share, and they're going to continue to go up, and we're going to see an alt season. But it just it's hard to see right now. You have any opinions?
Ray, can you pull up the Say chart? I want to show this to Easy and get his thoughts. This thing looks ridiculous. Easy, is this just god level market making? What?
Beautiful market making. No chart goes up only, but this one certainly does.
I mean, even when everything was bleeding, yeah, you go to the 7-day, everything was dumping, and Say was just cooking. It's up to 27 cents. What's the all-time high on this? Okay, $1, or kind of like, yeah, 94 cents. Briefly got over $1. Are you interested in Say at all? They partnered up, I believe it was Wyoming, using Say for stable coins.
No interest. I just don't know enough about Say. So like for me to wrap my head around getting into something, I would have to know more about it.
Yeah. Got it. Well, there you have it.
So looking at what 2.8 FDV on this, pretty crazy. I'd be more interested in like a SWI. Like I said, emerging markets. I kind of want to talk about MegaETH. There was a big raise that was announced on MegaETH yesterday that had my gears kind of turning on how to like get more involved there. I already hold a Fluffle, already hold a Bad Buns. The news from yesterday was essentially GTE announced a 15 million Series A raise from Paradigm. GTE is basically global token exchange, or they're like basically trying to be the fastest DEX globally, built on MegaETH, using MegaETH's like rails, because MegaETH is basically positioning itself as like the fastest chain. So this is interesting. We saw some like commentary on the timeline. I think Tyler and ICOBs both got into this, like talking about like what this means for MegaETH. Paradigm investing 15 mil at probably a 6 or like a low 9-figure valuation. If they're looking for a 10 to 20x, this means this could run to $1 billion valuation for GTE. Bigger implications for MegaETH. But just seeing the raise here on GTE is like interesting. Like I continue to want exposure to MegaETH. Like I think they're doing things the right way. I think their marketing is great. I think their brand building is great. I think the way that they're like curating their builders and like providing them with like resources is great with their Mega Mafia program. And I keep finding myself more and more like wanting more exposure. So like I put an ETH into a Fluffle. I bought a Bad Buns. And what I came to like the conclusion after diving in a little bit overnight is like there's going to be more opportunities to get the Fluffle NFTs. It was a 10K collection. They only sold 5K initially, and they basically split it into proactive and reactive like allocations. They already did the reactive one. That was essentially looking at people's like social stats, finding people, curating like who's on that allow list. Second one's more proactive. So like this is word for word from their website here. It says the second set of NFTs will be made available a few months after the first, with the intention of giving a similar opportunity to those continuing to drive impactful social and on-chain interactions for MegaETH. The difference for this installment is that the allocation will be given to teams that make us what we are, the Mega Mafia. Each team will receive a portion of the supply to distribute to their respective community and collectively make up the majority of installment to supply. A small portion of this will be reserved for social media analysis. So it sounds like they're going to give some away to like influencers, essentially, maybe mindshare for MegaETH in general. But then the second one, they're giving to Mega Mafia teams to distribute to their user base. So my alpha and what I'm going to be diving into this weekend, I've already started on MegaETH testnet. If you're a Bodoggo, you've been in the Discord. You've been seeing me like basically sending out testnet ETH. Brad gave us a bunch. So if you are a Bodoggo, go in the Discord, ping me, and I'll give you more MegaETH testnet ETH. But basically play around with as many of these protocols. Find one or two that you really like, and then just go ham on that protocol, both using it, talking in their Discord, talking on the timeline. Those things can get you access, I think, to the next set of NFTs. And the way those NFTs work is basically they're 5% of the MegaETH token, at least. It's kind of like what they've been advertised as. So that's my play that I'm making on MegaETH. I already have exposure. I want more exposure. I don't know if I can get a second one, but I'm going to try. I'm on a couple of these platforms. I've signed up for GT, Valhalla, Noise. I'm trying to get into Euphoria. This one looks interesting. But if you go to, I'm on fluffle.tools right now. This is a website by Ultra, the guy who did Laudio, basically lists all the information for the Mega Mafia projects. I'm super interested in getting into these, seeing if I can maybe even do like a how-to guide on one or two of these to potentially tap into the second round of Fluffles, and in the process learn enough about MegaETH to take advantage of it at launch. Because launch,
I think you're spot on here, Ray. As MegaETH looks good. The big criticism is the quote unquote decentralization aspect of it, which is what makes the, I don't know the specific technicalities of it, but they just have this big ass high performing validator. That's my understanding of it, right? Versus like a bunch of other ones that you need to approve and like they need to come to consensus with all these. That's how they're basically sacrificing some of the like decentralization, quote unquote. But do people even like specifically care that much about it? I think there's a lot of decentralization maxis that don't like MegaETH. But from what I've been seeing, the teams on it and Bread Guy's doing a great job with them and how they're thinking about stuff. This is more interesting to me than like Monad, right? Just based on like how they're letting the community be so involved in it. And they're shipping quick. So it's great to see. I don't know what this would open up at from a token perspective or what the timeline is, but what you're saying is spot on as far as like get involved, like find these apps that you're really interested in, hyper focus on one or two, and then get that Fluffle action.
Yep, that's my game plan. If
Also use some Fluffle action.
Monet catching strays. Yeah, but so like that's what I'm interested in. Like in altcoins, like I kind of just want to go all in on like emerging markets and just say I don't want to hold any of these like tokens. Like maybe hold a couple memes that I believe in, but like holding ETH, holding Solana, I may just say like, hey, I just want to hold USDC and then jump into these emerging markets, something like a MegaETH or whatever's next, or the next DApp on a protocol,
or Bitcoin. Hold Bitcoin.
I mean, I'm always holding money in Bitcoin. I do take profits to Bitcoin as well. But in terms of like actual trading, that's kind of like my goal here. And I find that I generally do best in those ecosystems where doing a little bit of extra work ends up paying off.
Yeah, that seems to be your sweet spot. I think you're spot on, Ray. And I think that more and more people are going to start realizing that potentially as far as like these alts go. You've had Alex Becker just destroying his audience for the last 2 years, saying that altcoin season was coming and it's hasn't been here yet. And if you think about it logically, why should an altcoin season come? If like there is a scenario where Bitcoin dominance continues to go up because that's where the inflows are going, and then the institutions just continue to bid these IPOs and these stocks like Coinbase or Circle. What else? Like Kraken and Gemini and OKX potentially IPOing as well. That makes more sense to me. I think, yeah, I like where your head's at. Yeah.
Next topic I want to bring up today. Yesterday, we saw that the Federal Reserve made an announcement that is very pro crypto. Basically, they announced that reputational risk will no longer be a component of examination programs in its supervision of banks. So the crypto sphere essentially took this as being bullish because the reputational risk factor was something that deterred many crypto companies from being serviced by banks. Like there's questionnaires that like included like different risk profiles, and because of this rule and because of this requirement, they weren't able to be served by banks. So a number of people have been pointing out that like, hey, this is a big move for crypto. It's kind of a very boring headline, but could have big repercussions in terms of crypto being banked. So just another example of regulation shifting towards crypto and providing tailwinds. So
that's awesome. I love that. I know I talk smack about the Trump administration or just Trump in general capitalizing on crypto for making money from it and how that might be a risk for crypto in the future. But stuff like this, you absolutely love to see. And this is stuff that I think actually should be the bigger conversation than like some of the negative stuff that gets brought up. You absolutely love to see that. It's little things like that, Ray. I agree 100%. That make a difference. The Genius Stablecoin Act being another one. Although I was listening to the clip from the All In podcast over the weekend. David Sachs was basically talking about the Genius Stablecoin Act and why there's a kind of part of the bill that doesn't allow these issuers to offer yield to their customers. And Sachs basically said that like this was from the banks, that the banks pushed back hard on it because they're like, hey, if these guys offer yield, we're smoked. We're smoked. So that was like something that they had to bring back into the bill, is say that they can't offer yield. And Jason, who you can hate on him all you want, Jason was like, well, dude, that's kind of bullshit that this is like part of it. So those are like very interesting things that I don't think get talked about enough. You're muted, Ray.
I say Circle's not giving you yield right now. Like
no,
the stablecoin people aren't giving you yield. They're pocketing that revenue. So it's not like something that like it's kind of a nothing burger. I mean, I agree that like the optics of it are very bad because it's like big banks saying like, hey, you can't make money, but we can. But in general, like the banks are doing it, Circle's doing it. It just allows it to continue, I guess, as opposed to like maybe there could be a disruption with crypto because of the efficiency and hey, like to compete in stable coins, you would need to offer yield to have somebody use yours over another stable coin. Like it's a reason for something like I'll bring up Blast, like USDB probably couldn't be regulated in the United States because they offer a native yield just based on existing on the chain. And I feel like that would like go against like this rule.
100%. 100 bullish US circle. Bullish circle.
Yep. I've got the charts open. Looks like we opened on the day here. Circle down to 246. Let's bring up the SPY to see what we're working with here. SPY gapped up 605. Damn.
He's pushing up here too. You got Bitcoin looking good. Sol still looks a little weak. We'll see. It's early.
It's early, 9 to 10, right? And then you have the 10 a.m. dump.
Usually what happens, right? We'll see.
Alrighty. Couple other interesting things. We saw DeFi Development Corp. We talked about them having their treasury company listed. We pulled up that earlier in terms of the stock. We also had another treasury company announced. This is a new one. Nano Labs basically announcing they were going to create a BNB treasury. $500 million convertible note agreement aiming to accumulate BNB as part of its treasury strategy. So we're seeing BNB join the ranks here. Let's take a look at them. I haven't looked at the stock yet. We're looking at NA on the Nasdaq. We're continuing to just see these. It was fun when these actually were a trade. I mean, apparently this one was. On the news, gapped up from $10.80 yesterday all the way up to $26.50 now. So clean 2x. This was trading at a $186 million market cap. Never heard of Nano Labs before today. Take a look and see what they do exactly here. But now they hold BNB, or they're trying to hold BNB. So basically it's a holding company. Provision provides solutions of fabless integrated circuits, high throughput computing chips. So like technology adjacent, now getting into BNB essentially.
Is there, I mean, yeah, just another treasury company play. Is there a company, I'm almost more interested now in just companies in the S&P 500. Will there be, well, I don't think there is one yet, an S&P 500 company that has done any sort of crypto treasury. I think until we start seeing some of these bigger ones, we'll continue to see these smaller companies do it to kind of rejuvenate their stock and add some life to it. It continues to show that Wall Street and institutions want exposure to crypto. I don't know. I don't have a take necessarily on how they're doing it as far as the are they levered or not, or how these convert, like these raises go to raise like 500 million or whatever it is. But that'll be the firework.
MicroStrategy would be the first one,
right?
Potentially. Coinbase is already in the S&P 500, but they're not a treasury company.
Yeah, they don't own any Bitcoin.
Yeah, as like a strategic asset. Yeah, I mean that's it. I think it happens. I think right now you're seeing like kind of like the low level, and maybe it's setting like precedent and standard for like what's allowed and what isn't allowed. Maybe you see some of these other companies ending up kind of following. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it, unfortunately. It was fun yesterday. Did you guys see? While we're talking about the stock exchange, did you see the Pudgy Penguins ringing the bell on the Nasdaq?
Yeah, that was great.
Dude, this picture is hilarious. It's just a penguin sitting there. And then yeah, just normal people in suits hanging out. Van Eck rang the bell. Pudgy Penguins were very highly featured.
Van Eck loves the Pudgy Penguins. They're obsessed.
Like, what is it with Van Eck and the Pudgy Penguins? They have to have some sort of like big stake in it, right?
They literally are obsessed with them.
Do we see a Pudgy Penguin ETF this year?
I mean, maybe. I don't think anyone's gonna. No one's gonna buy that shit. Who's gonna buy that shit? A Pudgy Penguin ETF?
I don't even know what it entails. You fractionalize them somewhat. I have no clue.
Or a Pengu ETF, right?
Yeah, Pengu ETF. I mean, abstract is interesting. Like, would Van Eck file for an ABS token ETF? Probably. I'd imagine they like that. Just seems like something that'd be likely. That was a PolyMarket bet. Does Van Eck file for an ABS ETF in the next 12 months? I would take the yes side of that. Speaking of PolyMarket, we saw Jerome Powell speak this morning. I'll pull up the summary of his speech, but essentially did not look great for rate cuts based on what he was saying. He said, we're well positioned for the time being to wait and learn more about the likely course of economy before adjusting policy. Increased tariffs likely to push up on inflation, weigh on economic activity. We're well positioned to wait before considering rate moves. So if we can take a look at the next rate decision in July and total rate cuts still here. Total rate cuts in 2025. It looks like we actually moved up a bit today. 2 rate cuts at 28%, 1 rate cut at 22%. So we're looking at a 50% chance we get at least 1 rate cut this year. Decision in July, no change, is at 82% for July. So July looking unlikely. If we were to see a rate cut next month, it would definitely signal a shift and potentially send risk on markets. So one to monitor. I saw that Powell was speaking this morning. Looks like he didn't budge the markets too much, and he may have budged them in the kind of both directions, to be honest. So not much news there, but just wanted to check in on that. That being said, easy, Clemente, is there anything else that you guys have been looking at? Anything else you're clicking this week? What are you watching for, Clemente? I saw you posting about some NFTs.
Yeah, that's a nameless NFT. It's a project on NFT project on Sophon. This is kind of following our rule or our previous success of buying these tokens or buying these NFT projects in emerging chains. Sophon already had their TGE, so this is a little bit different. But Bodago's got some allow list for this. This is a 4.4K supply, 0.025 ETH mint price. What I find interesting about it, about this collection, is it's on Sophon, which is it's the first mint on Sophon. But the approach that Sophon is taking with their NFTs is unique in the way that they're basically choosing 3 projects that they want to work with, or that they're going to kind of embrace and champion, and those be like, they're going basically the high quality like NFT route. They're incubating these kind of and endorsing these. So I don't know what the price action is going to be. Mint price is 0.025. People I think get to mint 2 per wallet. I'll mint my 2. I think if they're under like 0.075 ETH, I'm going to buy more on secondary. I think it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, but they're doing a similar approach to what like Abstract is doing with this like app store, this homepage, where they curate kind of the things you do and you can see. They're doing it in a way more, they're like very content driven. So they're more so working on like building a proper brand that people resonate with. So yeah, that's something I'm watching for. It's tomorrow. It starts at 12 p.m. Eastern will be when it starts. So
Are you on the allow list?
I am on the allow list. I am. I will be fully minting. Bodago's, I think, also got 20 spots. We did that raffle yesterday. Yeah. eBrink is asking, Ray, is there any interesting virtuals agent launches coming up?
2 things. One, thank you for commenting, because I remember to claim my points for today. Second, I just did like a cursory search. There's nothing that's like on my radar from just being on CT and following virtuals people that has excited me that's made me like say, okay, there's something coming up. I would need to dive in deeper. It looks like there's an oversubscribed one today. It looks like there's a verified one tomorrow. Nothing on these lists is interesting to me at this point. I basically sold everything. I sold my entire portfolio minus like a couple things. I sold all of my virtual. I converted it all to Kaito. So I'm basically just holding staked virtual that's staked forever, and then like some minor tokens. Just like this is all dust essentially. That some of it's like staked, some of it's just like in my wallet that's dust. So I pretty much exited after the babysitter one. I wrote a tweet about this. I just didn't think there was much coming up on the horizon. I think it's pretty much done with this loop of kind of where we went for. I think we had a good month of virtuals doing a ton of like multiple X's. I think like yes, new launches will still do multiple X's, but I think that you're not going to see as much crazy price action as we did before. I think there's going to be a little bit of a lull before the next potential run. So I'm sitting out for now. I moved over to Kaito, staking there. I'm continuing to earn points for that on virtual. So I'll probably just sit here, stack points, and then if I do see something interesting, jump in. But not taking like any active positions or trying to farm daily points here anymore.
Kramer Duke, by the way, brings up a good point. Tesla has Bitcoin in the S&P 500.
Yeah,
but they haven't like actively been buying it recently. That's just something I've been holding for a while.
And they're not taking out over collateralized bonds.
Yeah. You guys want to know something funny? 3 days ago or so, I was going through my portfolio, and my dumbass always goes through my portfolio and tries to like readjust when everything is dumping versus when it's pumping. But I was looking at my MOG. I was like, dude, I gotta sell this thing. I gotta sell. I had like 0.8 ETH worth. So that's what, like $2,000. I like $2,000 worth. I thought I sold it, and then today, obviously, it recovered a little bit. I think it's up like 20%. I checked today, and instead of selling, I accidentally bought more. So I bought another 0.8 ETH worth. So I'm sitting here. I have $5,000 of MOG.
yeah,
I'm like, I made money on that.
Like, I meant to sell it. You should just start doing that more. When you want to buy something, sell it. And when you want to sell something, just ape it.
Dude, that's actually a really good idea.
Like when you hit your dance, just dump it.
Yeah, I thought I was nuking this thing. Instead, I bought it. Best thing I could have done. Best thing I could have done.
I'm being asked about my SPX bags. How do I feel about SPX? I bought 0.25 ETH worth. People are telling me I bought the top. It looks like my 0.25 ETH is worth 0.244 now. So I think I'm feeling fine. Kind of want to buy more.
Recovery. This thing dumped below $1. I'm so bad at buying the dip on memes. I'm so bad at it. I can't look at Twitter because people were like, SPX, look at the market makers buying, like market makers are dumping. And I'm like, man, really? And then they're like, check out this clip of Murad saying he's going to sell half of his SPX bag in Q4 2025. That's 4 months away. And I'm like, ooh, man, they're cooked. And I didn't buy any. I should have bought some. Instead, I was trying to sell my MOG.
I just bought some more here. I just doubled my position, essentially. So we'll see how that goes. We are now 900 SPX tokens.
Let's go, Ray. Well, you have half an ETH worth now?
Yeah, just shy of it. See if there's any quests. Look at that token swap.
Boom. It's for OpenSea.
Yeah.
Easy. Your average on hype is what, like $37 around here?
A little lower. It's like 35.
Kaito NFTs are interesting to me. Again, I own one. I bought it around
35.60. It's my average.
Ray, you're saying Kaito NFTs, these are at 1.5 ETH?
Yeah. I put offers in yesterday morning at 1.35. Didn't hit. Looks like it expired. But these got all the way down to 1.4. And like what interested me is like they generally like sweep this collection with like proceeds from Kaito. like at different intervals. Like here's this, you can see on the chart here where you see like this crazy volume up. Like they'll sweep it or like DCA over like a short period of time, and we're reaching like all-time lows for the Kaito NFT collection.
Interesting.
Like I said, I bought at 4 after this dump from the airdrop.
Yeah.
And I've basically been holding, but I kind of want to like lower my average cost. So I'm really interested sub 1.4 is where I get interested here.
Sub 1.4 ETH.
Yeah, sub 1.4 ETH.
What was the price on May 29th?
May 29th this year?
Yeah. Because that's the recent high, or if not the all-time high on Kaito.
It looks like it was like right around 3 ETH.
Got it. So yeah, that's an interesting call, right? Because my counter would just be, why not just buy the token, right? But there's potentially an argument to be made that these, like the illiquid aspect of it, could make for lower lows but higher highs, right? Compared to just the token.
Yeah, and they're different. Like there's different utility as well. I'm gonna pull up Yuhu's Twitter where he kind of talks about the actual NFT, and I don't know why. Here it is. The NFT versus like the token. So like Infinex was the first one that essentially used this model, but what they're saying is like the token represents your like stake of in the protocol, and then the NFT acts as like a multiplier on top of that. So he's basically, the thesis here then essentially is like as Kaito increasingly gets distributed, the value of the multiplier becomes like increasing essentially. So we had the Infinex airdrop. You got a 10% multiplier on airdrop tokens. Yeah, I mean 10% though can make a difference for some of these bigger drops. You're making like a $1,500 drop, $150, like that adds up over time to the cost basis of the NFT. Is my thought process. But this one, like owning one, I'm like I want to own one, but the second one, like I don't think I'm going to get an additional multiplier, but I do think that it could trade higher because I think it's a little undervalued, under 1.4 as it gets to all-time lows. So that's my thought process on Kaito NFTs and where I'm at here. I'm also biased. So I'm like pretty heavily allocated into Kaito. I probably have 15K worth of assets in Kaito assets at this point.
Let's go, dude. I think I have 5K tokens. I don't have the balls to buy more.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the product's here to stay. Like I think that they continue to build. They show that they can make a very competent product that completely changed the landscape of crypto Twitter, right?
Yeah.
They pretty much have crypto Twitter by the balls. Like you're seeing, like, and we experience this as people who do marketing. Like more and more companies are coming out with like basically like all they care about is like Kaito mindshare and crypto Twitter mindshare, and you don't hear them using other platforms, like talking about other platforms as much. Like what they care about is Kaito's mindshare. So while
I've heard from multiple companies, multiple people say that exchanges are now like, well, what are your stats on Kaito before they list your token? It's very interesting.
Walls.
It's our guy right there, Walls. That's a big Kaito yapper right there.
Yeah, speaking of Kaito, we have some interesting stuff happening on the leaderboard. Our boy is absolutely crushing it. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Clemente on the overall crypto Twitter mindshare, which is loading very, very slowly as we continue to leave the audience hanging at the edge of our seats to get to the end of this sentence.
I believe it's because they're doing an airdrop for Newton right now, which I'm currently selling.
You're currently selling it as we're speaking?
Yeah, I'm nuking it. I got it for free, so I'm like, of course I'm gonna sell it.
All right, well, it's not loading right now, but TLDR is Clemente is number 2 on crypto mindshare for the last 30 days. Absolutely wild. Bachelor Society says it's the dancing. And I believe Easy is number 6 as well.
Huge.
absolutely smoking it on Crypto Mindshare on Crypto Twitter. Love to see it. One day I would like to join you boys there. We'll see how long it takes. That being said, anything else you guys want to talk about before we close out today's show?
Good to go.
Videos count for Kaito now, Ellie wants to know.
No, well, kind of. It just depends what your copy is on it. Like my circle video, the one of me dancing did not count at all. The one of my video of me freaking out about Trump calling for peace did not count. Some videos where they mention like a specific copy that's more optimized for Kaito do work. Like Jack, the stream clipper, he's gotten some yaps for videos.
Interesting.
But like
Well,
they're not tracking the video specifically.
Yeah, they're not like reading them with AI to like see what's inside of them, if it is crypto related or not.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for joining. We had some fun today on a Tuesday. We'll catch you again tomorrow. We do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. You can catch us live on YouTube. See what we're talking about in real time. See our graphs, see our charts, see us look at Circle